those with the greatest amount of persistence and courage are able to gain the thrill of victory. While looking down the trail from the very top of the Eagle's summit, this victory becomes apparent. Let me say again, Colt, we are proud of you. We are proud of you for reaching that tallest of peaks. May all the qualities that have inspired you to this achievement continue to lead you to even greater success as you go through life. As an Eagle Scout, the eyes of all scouting, yes, all the world actually, will be trained upon you. Let me remind you that the tradition of the Eagle is high. May you so live that this tradition may always be guided by the spirit of scouting. As symbolized by these blazing candles before you, may the Eagle badge that you are about to receive be symbolic of that spirit of scouting. Our most hearty congratulations, for it is now time for the highlight of our program, the presentation of Colt's Eagle Award. I'd like to ask Scoutmaster Justin Mostert to come forward and make the appropriate presentation.
Well, one of the funnest things that I get to do as a Scoutmaster. And here are the last couple, and in particular, Colt. And this is a unique and it's especially rewarding for me because I remember the end of Jacob's boyhood and his finishing the trail to Eagle. And now, school teacher and adult Jacob is here emceeing Colt when I vividly remember him crossing over out of Pack 1 in his early days in the troop. So bear with me. This is something that I've been looking forward to for a little bit of while here. Okay, I get to review the candidate. And I can go through all the great things about Colt Nichols. How on his first camping trip in a generally wet area, he used and made a fire with flint. I mean, that's a skill that I don't know how many Life and Eagle Scouts have that skill without practicing a little bit. Colt did it on his first camping trip. And he attacked advancement and merit badges and just a work ethic unbelievable. And so you'd think maybe I'll talk about that at length here. Well, I won't, because everybody in here knows Colt, and you know the type of work he does, and you know how hard he works at it. What I want to talk about, sorry buddy, you knew this was coming, was Colt's final step on the path to Eagle. And Colt planned a project, planned a good project, put it together, sold it to me, sold it to the committee, sold it on up. But we didn't nail it down scrupulously so that everybody agreed on its beginning and its end. And so Colt he didn't do an Eagle project. He probably did about 4 Eagle projects to qualify for his Eagle Scout Merit Badge. And it comes back to that communication. Everybody in here knows Colt, right? Who would like to say that Colt Nichols is a rowdy, boisterous, loud person? Have I got any takers on that in here? Only people his own age who see him where we don't. Getting Colt to speak a word, or perhaps more than one word, is sometimes a challenge, which I've never understood. But you know something? As a Scoutmaster, having him as an SPL, Senior Patrol Leader, the boy leader of the troop, the job that Adrian Rodolfi's doing right now, what a pleasure. And what a stressor of my cardiovascular system. Because the boy leader plans everything. He plans the logistical support. He delegates things to the boy officers whom he's appointed. He does everything. Our job is to drink coffee and just make sure they don't get hurt. But you always wonder, do they have tents? Is the food done? And Colt scrupulously did all of that. But he didn't always communicate it smoothly to me. And so you're the reason that I have to take that extra blood pressure pill every now and then. An Eagle Scout is a great accomplishment. Being an Eagle Scout is a great responsibility. As an Eagle, the Scout Oath and Scout Law should take on a new meaning for you. The motto and the slogan should take on a new sense of urgency. As an Eagle, your first obligation is to live with honor. You're a marked man, a leader. For good or ill, people will follow the example you set. Give up anything before you give up your reputation and your good name. As Shakespeare said, mine honor is my life, both grow as one. Take honor from me, and my life is done. Let the white of the Eagle badge remind you of honor. Your second obligation as an Eagle Scout is to be loyal. As a follower, you promise to be loyal to those above you. Now, as a leader, you must also be loyal to those below you. Treat them as you would want to be treated. And you must also be loyal to your ideals, not letting others sway you from your course. Let the blue of the Eagle badge remind you of loyalty. Your third obligation as an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Stepping into your new role as a leader, you'll face many challenges and obstacles. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are for. You must have the courage to do what is right, no matter what other people do or say. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you of courage. Your fourth obligation is to serve others, for a leader is above all a servant. Let the practice of the daily good turn lead to a lifetime of service, for only in giving of yourself do you give anything of value. Just as it always has, let the scroll on your badge remind you of service. Your final obligation as an Eagle Scout is to have vision. As a leader, you must now blaze your own trail. Just as the bald eagle soaring high above the ground can look far into the distance, so too you must look far into the future. Many people will follow you. Only with vision will you lead them in the right direction. Let the silver eagle hanging from your badge remind you of vision. These then are your obligations as an Eagle Scout: honor, loyalty, courage, service, and vision. By meeting these obligations, you can lead your troop, your community, and your nation into a better tomorrow. Okay, I'm now going to ask him a couple of questions, actually only one, and then I'm going to administer the Eagle Oath. Colt, you've heard the charge of an Eagle Scout. Are you now ready to take on yourself the obligations of an Eagle Scout?
I am.
Okay, that's great. Scout sign, repeat after me. I reaffirm or affirm
I reaffirm
my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor,
On my honor,
I will do my best
I will do my best
to make my training an example
to make my training an example
and my status and influence
and my status and influence
count strongly for better scouting
count strongly for better scouting
and for better citizenship in my troop,
and for better citizenship in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
Face me at an angle. That's good. Attention to advancement. Okay. By the power vested in me by the Boy Scouts of America, Narragansett Council, the Southeast Service Area, and Troop 82, I dub you Eagle Scout. Okay. Congratulations. Eagle Scout number 138 in Troop 82. Mrs. Nichols, if you would do the honor of pinning him, small little drops of blood to mark the points on the uniform. And here are the backers. Okay, Mom Kim. Okay. You got guys. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, in recognition for the years of love and care and encouragement, traveling, transporting, feeding, Colt will present his mother with the Mother's Eagle pin. Colt, I've got your backer. Right? Now your father, in recognition of all of the years of traveling around, bearing with the incompleteness of the communications, and coaching you and guiding you, annoying you and encouraging you, and all those things dads do, please present your father with the father's pin. Okay, it now gives me great pleasure to present formally and once again Troop 82's 138th Eagle Scout, Colt Nichols.
Hope that I'd be nice today. The scout is trustworthy, right? So I'll be nice. Okay. Let me start by welcoming all of you here today, friends, family, scouts, and scouters, to share with Diane and I the celebration of Colt's attainment of Eagle. I'd like to start by acknowledging a few people who helped Colt along the scouting way. First, Scout is Reverend. The scouting program builds on a spiritual life. I'd like to thank Father Peter for both his invocation today, but more importantly, for the spiritual guidance he has given Colt and us over the last few years. Scouting is about timeless values and tradition. I'd like to acknowledge Colt's grandparents, George and Sandy Nichols. Thanks for coming. They drove all the way down from New Hampshire today just to be here and have some pretty good lunch. Also to see you, Colt. Colt's grandfather, as Mr. Moser mentioned, is an Eagle with Palm from 1959. That's back in the 1900s, back in the old days. Colt's great-grandfather wore silver beaver. Colt is carrying on a long family tradition of scouting. There's a black sheep in the family, but we won't mention him. Scouting is a lifelong program. I'd like to acknowledge Ray Calici, one of the Eagle's escorts. Colt's den leader for much of his Cub Scouting career. The tallest oak starts as a humble acorn. Ray, thanks for tending that forest of little oaklings. It's a long trail, and you carried the load for part of the way. Thank you. The boots hit the trail once a boy crosses the Boy Scouts. Justin, thank you for your tireless efforts. I mean tireless. I don't know how you do it. Whatever you have to make up in purgatory, you got a few credits going. And teaching, and coaching, and mentoring, and leading, and correcting Colt. He is one of the many boys whose life has been changed by your dedication and service, Justin. We are grateful, both Diane and I, for the parts of you that you have given to Colt. There's nature and nurture. Well, the nature start we did 16 plus years ago. Nurture is what makes a difference from there forward. Thank you for being part of that. They say Boy Scouting is boy led and boy run. Oh man, whoever made that up was taking a gamble. The one scout who Colt looked up to from his first day in the troop was Jacob Ritchie. I remember Jacob back when he was a very young SPL, and we went up to Mount Washington, and I can say, I'm glad none of us died that day. You got us all back. Some of us wish we had died that day, but that's a tall amount. The day Jacob gave Colt a boonie cap, not a boonie cap, the Jacob Ritchie boonie cap, just like Jacob wore, and he's wearing today. I think Jacob made a friend for life. A little kid who was playing mini Jacob. There are countless scouts, scouters, friends, and family, some who are here today, who have played a part, small or large, in helping this day come. To all, named and unnamed, Diane and I extend our gratitude. It's been said from time to time that it's a Nichols tradition not to listen to good advice for the first time it is given. Now, I wouldn't know that. Ask your grandfather. I was told by a wise man that as a parent, you should associate your children with others who share similar beliefs and values. That way, if your son doesn't listen to you, then maybe some of what someone else is saying a different way might sink in and stick. Thank you all for being that community of similar values. And thanks, Dad, for the good advice. It seems to have worked. Look at your grandson here. I promised Colt that I wouldn't roast him today. Justin did enough of that already. Colt, let me say up front, Mom and I are extremely proud of you. This is no small achievement. You've attained what few who started down the scouting trail complete. This was no small task. As you heard today, you are a marked man. You bear the burden of expectation from us that are here today, from those that came before you, and those you will meet in the future. Each child is a gift from God. But with that gift, God does have a sense of humor. He takes a little bit of Mom, a little bit from Dad, reaches back in time and adds a little something special from the attic from one of the relatives. And when you end up with a unique individual, you can run that machine over and over again, and it's not Eli Whitney, and it's not interchangeable parts. Colt, you have the paternal trait of stubbornness. It does not skip generations. I see much of your father, your father's father, and your father's father's father in you. Ask any of the Nichols women, they will tell you. You can use this superpower for good or evil. Use it wisely. You will gain persistence and perseverance to overcome great hardship and adversity. Use it poorly. You've looked at your father long enough, you know what that looks like. Colt, you have your mother's empathy for people and other living things. It is clear that you have strong emotional feelings about many things. You struggle with putting what you feel into words. Empathy for others is a trait of a great leader. But a leader needs to communicate in order to lead. Don't let words become an obstacle to the leader that is inside and the great service that you can do for others. Do not assume that others understand what you know doesn't need to have it explained many, many, many times. You have an eye, an ear, and an intuition that I have not seen in many people. There is little that you see or hear that you don't retain and understand. You see to the heart of things, both physical and ethereal. You see what others don't notice. You sense what others cannot see. And you understand intuitively what most people struggle to grasp. These are gifts. Use these also wisely. But be patient with us mere mortals. I could go on for hours and hours about the greater and lesser angels of Colt's nature, but that's not why we're here today. Our purpose today is to extend our congratulations about many achievements, especially your rank of Eagle. Now, all the good stories were stolen, plagiarized, and borrowed. I tell you, I do remember that first camp out at Camp Sayre in the pouring rain. It wasn't humid, it was raining. And they set the tents up, and there was parts missing. You know how, I enjoy that, right? But, hey, you were doing good, you weren't the quartermaster then. Well, the quartermaster was a very challenging time for me as the quartermaster advisor. I've had scouts not listen to me, but having your son as a quartermaster, oh. And you and George Coit sat there in the rain, building a fire in the rain, while the scoutmasters were sitting in our scoutmaster shelter, warm and dry, having coffee, saying, what are those fools doing building a fire in the rain? And then there was a spark, and then there was a wisp of smoke, and then there was fire in the rain. Okay? Building fire underwater is also another Nichols family tradition. And then it was fun watching the older boys trying to light a flame for the flint that day, because I think there was a one-upmanship. And everybody knows about the pride of men. It can be, that and their egos are very delicate creatures. You did a good job of breaking a lot of older boys' egos that day. Colt, I can say nothing but how proud your mother and I are with you and about what you've achieved. And I'm going to break a long-standing Nichols and Deshefree family tradition. Public display of affection. Come over here and get a hug.
Let's see. the Eagle Scout by S. Kurtz Hingley. A fond mother watches her boy where he stands, apart from his comrades tonight, as they place on his camp-battered tunic a badge, an eagle, the emblem of right. It seems to her just a few months have passed since he joined with the youngster next door. How proud he was then of his tenderfoot pin, as he told her the message it bore. But 3 years have gone as he struggled along to learn what the Scout law is about. And he practiced them daily, that oath and that law, until now. He's an Eagle Scout. You may smile with your worldly wise wisdom at this and say, why, it's only a pin. But I tell you, no honors he'll gain as a man will mean just as much to him. The red, white, and blue of the ribbon you see are symbols of honor and truth. He has learned how to value these fine attributes in the glorious days of his youth. In the outflinging wings of the eagle that rests on the breast of this knight today are the things which shall lift him from above petty deeds and guide him along the right way. Yes, it's only a pin, just the Eagle Scout badge, and heart that's beneath it's true. And will throb to the last for the things which are good, a lesson for me and for you. Congratulations, Coach.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here today to see me being presented the rank, the award of Eagle Scout. Scouting truly is an amazing thing. It connects and it unites people in a community, a nation, even the scouting world, all under the same ideals and the same values. Duty to God, duty to one's country, and duty to others. I'd also like to especially thank those people that participated in today's ceremony that may have had short notice, whether it be a couple days or a couple minutes. I owe you big time. At this point, I'd like to present the Eagle Scout Mentor Pin. This person, which will probably be no surprise to most people, but has made a great impact on not only my scouting career, but my development as an individual. He is none other than the resident fire god, the resident lashing master, and the resident all-around handyman. That would be the Mr. Jacob Ritchie. Thank you. Like I said before, scouting is an amazing thing. And for this, I am certain that scouting will always continue onward and upward. To quote Baden-Powell, the spirit is there in every boy, and it has to be discovered and brought out to light. And that is what scouting does.
Lord, thank you for the great weather you have given us this day. Thank you for our friendships we have found here in scouting. Please keep each of us safe as we travel from here today. And may the great Scoutmaster of all Scouts be with you until we meet here again. Amen.
Amen.
Most of you have been to Eagle Scout ceremonies. You've heard me talk about persistence. That's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. You've heard me talk about excellence. That's probably about 4 minutes. You've heard me at troop meetings talk about choosing the harder way, the Kennedy quote. That's probably a minute and a half. Well, I kind of put them all together, and I want to say to Eagle, to Colt, you're my first Eagle to sum this up, but that's what I think Eagle represents. It represents a commitment to excellence. You don't get here without doing a lot of things very well. persistence. You don't get here without doing a lot of things over and over until you get them done right. It's for choosing the harder way, whether it's the harder right over the easier wrong, the harder program in these cool polyester suits that maybe not everybody in high school looks up to, or just choosing the harder, more challenging path. And I can tell you without doubt that that's what an Eagle Scout is, and that's who Colt Nichols is. Excellence, persistence, and choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. Thank you.